Hello everyone, welcome to my new channel. So today we're gonna have a look at Canadian Solar with ticker symbol CSIQ. Now just before we begin, I'm not an expert, so please don't take this as investing advice. This is just me sharing my ideas and thoughts about this company. So let's just jump into it. So Canadian Solar was established back in 2001 by Dr. Sean Koo. A year later in 2002 they started to manufacture their first solar panels for, I believe, a German automotive company, possibly Volkswagen. And a couple of years later, in 2006, they were listed on Nasdaq. As of today, they employ roughly 15,000 people across the globe, mainly in China, but also, and of course Canada, but also in Brazil and Indonesia and Thailand. Now, just before, I wanted to tell you the story of why this is possibly a good company to invest in. So if we look at from the 1980s till today, we've gone from roughly 7 terawatt hours of energy consumption to just over 25 terawatt hours in little over 40 years, 4 decades. So this pace is actually faster than even the population growth, which means that we not only the population keeps increasing, but we also consume more electricity per person. And also we know that the solar panels are accounting for 3.6% of the global electricity generation as of last few years. And everyone knows that there's an increasing push for renewable and green energy, and part of that solution is obviously wind, but also the other part is nuclear, but for our case obviously solar panels. Now you would say that that's part of the reasons why we've seen this increase in, as you compare here, for the last few decades, like such a big increase in solar panel electricity. But the other part I would say is just the simple fact that it's cheap. Is the cheapest form of energy as of now, and it's been on a decreasing pace ever since the last few decades. The only problem I would say is been just the last couple of years, where the polysilicon price has gone through the roof. If we look at this, not the blue one, look at the white part of the chart. As you see, like since 2018 and 2019, the price just through the pandemic went up through the roof, and it's just recently started to come down, which is good. But this is also why a lot of the companies took a hit into the gross margins, including Canadian Solar. Now add to that Canadian Solar they don't have the most stable shipment of in terms of gigawatts per quarter. So there's definitely a fluctuation from quarter to quarter. So all of these adds to, let's say, uneven earning reports depending going from one quarter to the other. So that's why I think if you're gonna study these companies, you need to have a bit longer perspective. Don't look at one quarter compared to the other. You have to at least compare a couple of years back and understand why the gross margin is going up or down. And the polysilicon price is obviously big chunk of that reason. But also I think, like with the supply chain issues in the last couple of years, this hasn't helped Canadian Solar at all. But for the good part at least, is just, I think we're past the worst part of the supply chain crisis and the polysilicon price soaring. So this is good. Now let's have a look at just the numbers in terms of how much they ship. So the capacity is obviously, the capacity for manufacturing is bigger than the shipment, which makes sense obviously. And as you see, like from 2016 going from 5, 6, 7 up to 10 here, and now boom, in 2022 they just basically doubled the 2020's numbers. And they just since they had their earning report just earlier this morning, as we can see here, that the management for their outlook of 23, they say that they believe they're able to sell anywhere from 30 to 35 gigawatt hours, which also would represent anywhere from 50 to 75% increase compared to 2022, so which is even higher and faster than the 42% increase in 2020 compared to 2021. So not only is this a growth company, they seem to be able to even grow even faster. Obviously this won't hold for all infinity, so we have to be realistic. I haven't increased in my estimations from 2024 and 2025. I think like 35 to 45, maybe 56, 70, somewhere there is more realistic. In fact, you could argue that even these numbers are a bit optimistic. I don't know, but at least what we know is the green numbers. The yellow one is probably, I would say, quite realistic, and then anything from 2024, especially 2025 onwards, is a bit difficult to envisage. But again, we know with these numbers, we know with this that the solar part is increasing. We know that the energy consumption and energy need is increasing. So it wouldn't be in my point of view, stupid bet to believe that they're gonna need to be even higher production capacity and shipment capacity. Now obviously this is focusing a lot on the solar side or the solar panel side of the things. They also recently ventured into the energy storage, as I mentioned earlier, but we will have a look at that into the future. So let's have a look at the competition quickly. So as you see, there are a few competitors, obviously more than these that are here, but I just pick a few and look at the earnings or like a PE ratio of Enphase, compare it to Canadian Solar. So this is the basis for the investment thesis in this company. I think that compared to the competition, it's lower value than it should be. Now, it's actually very interesting case if you're new to this company, because this is not a new thing. It's been this way for many years. And I think part of it is just the big fluctuations in their earnings, like from quarter to quarter. So Wall Street, they like to see more like a stable growth rather than 2 great quarters and one so and so and then 2 great quarters again. They much more like to see like stable growth quarter to quarter to quarter. So this is, I think, part of the reason. And also the management is aware of this, in my opinion, and this is why they ventured into the energy storage side of things. So every time they sell a battery package, not only sometimes they actually have it in-house, so they don't sell it, they just sell the energy that the battery grid produces. So this will also help to stabilize the earnings from quarter to quarter, but that would take a few years, I think, before we start to see substantial results from that. So yeah, this is my, I would say, first investment thesis on Canadian Solar. I think they have great potential both in capacity and shipment. They seem to have nice R&D team and venturing into not only solar panels itself, manufacturing the ingots, and also going into the inverters, so the power electronics, but as well the battery storage or energy storage side of things. And yeah, this is not a new company. I mean, they've been on the market for now more than 20 years. So the founder and the CEO is very ambitious, and he's very technically knowledgeable. So I think this is like the basics for a possible great investment. But yeah, so I will in the next video go into detail and compare them to competition on a numbers basis, and also look at more into detail at their products, so their solar panels, their inverters, and their energy storage solution. So yeah, thank you for watching my first video. I appreciate it. Please make sure to comment down below if you think there's other things I should improve on. I'm aware of that this is the first video, so the quality might be lacking, but I try to do my best, and yeah, I really look forward to hear your ideas. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.